Also tonight, we are learning more about where the ongoing impeachment probe into Governor Andrew Cuomo stands now, directly from a person involved in that investigation.
Today, the governor spoke once again about the probe, which involves several elements, including the sexual harassment accusations and use of state workers for his multi-million-dollar book deal. Channel 2's Ron Plant spoke today with a member of the Assembly Judiciary Committee, which is looking into the difficult and complex issue of whether the governor should be impeached.
Assemblymember Thomas Abenanti from Westchester County is one of the 21 members of the State Assembly Judiciary Committee. This downstate Democrat is frustrated with Governor Cuomo and his aides questioning the motives and partiality of those attorneys handling separate investigations for that committee and the state attorney general.
So the governor is attacking people who have one hand tied behind their backs. They can't push back. They can't fight back. They can't answer because it'll make them look prejudiced. But they're doing their jobs. And the governor should not be attacking people who are doing their jobs.
In fact, the governor, while again expressing confidence he'll be exonerated, was again throwing some political shade at the investigator attorneys.
On the AG's report, I said I have concerns as to the independence of the reviewers. I am eager for the truth to come out here, and New Yorkers will be shocked.
Of course, this comes shortly after reports that investigators interviewed Cuomo and some of his top aides about these allegations. Abenanti defends the Judiciary Committee's investigators, who are acknowledged to be major league and highly paid legal pros.
There was an outcry that said these things may not be criminal, but they may be impeachable. The only way you can chastise a governor who refuses to cooperate is to bring impeachment charges. So we have a very, very serious job. We need to look at the facts, and we've hired lawyers, very good lawyers, to assemble all of the facts for us. And we will get a lot of grief no matter what we do. There's the Democratic Party, and the population of the state of New York is split right down the middle.
Ron Plants, Channel 2 News.
Abenanti hopes that their judiciary panel investigation will wrap up by the end of the year, if not sooner, but he also says there is an awful lot of work still remaining.